Hi guys, welcome now to Tech Tuesday, your weekly look at everything to do with tech within golf. And I have, nodding enthusiastically by my side, Rick Shields. How you doing? Shall I shake your hands? I'll sort of do with everyone on the channel for some reason.
It's always very weird when you do that as well. Can you stop that? Because it's like you've already met him and then you like introducing yourself again while on video, and I think people find it weird.
Well, I think you're weird.
So guys, this is a weekly roundup. We've not done this kind of setup for a
while.
while.
An actual chat up together. This is. It feels a little bit unusual. It feels oddly formal. Let's just strip it back.
Okay.
Let's just relax. There's no need to be so on edge about it.
Okay.
I actually feel nervous.
I actually just don't feel like this camera's quite in our face enough. I mean, when you do it, the camera is right in your grill.
Well, yeah, because I can pull it off.
Okay, I like
there's a difference there. And what we're going to talk about this week in Tech Tuesday is literally, so far this year, what the best clubs are that you can buy. And we're going to split it just by category. So driver, fairway woods, irons, mention hybrids, but wedges and putter.
This is deep.
This is very deep.
Did you get the chair with the arms? You can tell someone's the host of this channel.
Well, you got the chair with the legs, though.
So if you're wondering where we are as well, guys, we're here in Portugal on location here at Amendoeiro. And we've played some golf today, and we're just about to do night golf, so we're just waiting for the sun to really start to go dark. You can just see it dwindling over our shoulder.
Absolutely.
We thought it'd be a good opportunity, while the internet speed is very good here at the clubhouse, to do a Tech Tuesday and get it uploaded as quick as we can.
Absolutely.
We're trying to keep this video short.
Yeah, I was going to say, we had a discussion before on how long this was going to be. And you know what? I think we're probably going to break it. So, first up, you know what? As guest, and, you know...
I already know what I'm picking.
Without this moment in time with the beard.
Go.
Driver.
Two for me, big ones this year has been the Callaway.
Go pick one.
Oh, I thought we were doing two.
No, you pick one, I pick one.
All right, sorry. Right, Callaway Big Bertha Epic. I'm using the Sub-Zero in my bag at the moment. A couple of things on the Epic, and I just want to make this very clear and very simple. It doesn't go any further than any other driver, really, but it feels and sounds phenomenal, and it looks amazing. The piece of technology with Jailbreak, yeah, I think that helps the feel of the driver. Performance, though, for me, the Sub-Zero seems to have a little bit of a fade biased, so that's what I'm using. I think the normal version is good. I just don't think it's quite as good as the Epic Sub-Zero.
It's certainly not suited to you anyway. For the, as in the normal, not the Epic. I wasn't just criticising your club choice there. Not yet. We'll get into that. The Jailbreak technology, is that just to stabilise the head?
It's to help secure the top and the bottom of the crown. So when impact takes place, there is a normal. There's like I'm saying this as if I'm an engineer. There's a distortions between the top and the crown and the base of the golf club, the sole. And what these Jailbreak rods have done is stabilise that unit. So when the club hits ball, the crown and bottom doesn't shake as much. And I think that's what gives it that very different feel. When I hit that driver, it feels very different. It doesn't feel as springy. It feels very much harder. The Sub-Zero as well actually seems to be catering for a lot of golfers. I see a lot of higher handicappers that probably wouldn't have ever been in the Sub-Zero range actually moved into the Sub-Zero range because they're getting better numbers from it.
Yeah, well, that's what I found with it. Definitely, 100%. I mean, for me, I'm still using the M1. I'm using the new M1. But again, the difference between this year's M1 and last year's M1 is minimal.
The one thing I wish I'd potentially looked at is testing the 440 version that you've got.
Well, that's what I've got. The 440 version from this year is definitely better than the 430 version from last year because of it's just when you hit the old version off the heel of the toe, it was gone. It was dead. You wouldn't get it up off the ground. But this one, it actually feels, I'm not going to say forgiving, but it feels more forgiving than last year's. And I think it's still the best one.
So you're putting M1 as your best?
Yeah, M1's still the best for me.
And I'm putting Callaway Great Big Bertha Epic Sub-Zero.
Okay, next up, onto the fairway woods. I've got an inkling into what might be coming.
You go first.
You go first.
Just so number one at fairway wood, without a question, this is not just this year, this is for many, many years to come. It's the Cobra F7 Baffler. This fairway wood revolutionised fairway woods. It is the greatest. I will be saying, if we did this video in 10 years, when our beards have gone grey, I will still be saying the best fairway wood this year is the Cobra F7 Baffler. In blue.
I mean,
which I didn't think I'd say because I didn't think I liked the blue one.
Well, to be fair, when you were testing it out, it wasn't like you liked it that much.
Oh, I did.
You were using it out of the bad lies, and you're like, "Oh, this is good," but you didn't put it in the bag for weeks. You carried on using the toppy Titleist.
I think it moved in pretty quickly. So if you've not seen the F7 review, link up here in the corner. Thanks, Pete. And that'll give you a link to the drive review.
You can also do
it for the Callaway Great Big Bertha Epic. Link up here in the corner, and the TaylorMade M1. Not the 440 version. That's on Pete's channel. He doesn't need a link. I'm sure you've already seen that. So the F7.
I've beamed out from it. Did you just include 6 links into this video?
The baffler, what I really like about it, I've always struggled to have ground interaction with fairway wood and floor. I always find that when ground interaction takes place, for me, the front leading edge would dig and therefore produce a really terrible golf shot. But then that left a very small, very tiny percentage of success rate when trying to hit a fairway wood clean, because if you don't catch it clean, you have to hit it slightly higher than clean, it doesn't come out very well as well. So what I liked about the baffler, the front edge of it is slightly shaved down. It's got the 2 rails at the bottom, so that they almost are almost like little ski slopes. So when the skis go into the sand, i.e. the grass, they also then kick back up, allowing the club to make contact with the ground and not get affected.
Wow. Okay, that's good. And I have to tip my hat to Cobra for their revolutionary baffler technology.
Well, this goes back many
which they
years.
reintroduced once every 7 years, and then call it a revolution. So, really well done, guys.
I actually thank Ricky Fowler for that, because he actually forced Cobra to make that.
Did he really?
Yeah.
They are good. They are very, very.
It was Ricky Fowler or Ricky Shields. I don't know who it was that forced them.
I know who's getting the most benefit out of it.
I know who's giving the most PR about it as well. So yeah, Cobra baffler for me.
I think for me, I'm going to go. Just because you can't really go wrong with them, although Rick might disagree, I'll include a link to a video which may demonstrate this fact. The Titleist fairway woods are amazing. They're really, really good.
That's the 97F, or the F2 and the F3 they were actually called this year.
Yeah, and
but effectively 917s.
I mean, it's one of those things with fairway woods for me. I mean, there's not really that much change, really, over the last 5-6 years. I mean, yes, you've got the rails on the bottom, but that's not a new technology. I do like the Epic fairway, which I put in, Sub-Zero, just because it lowers the loft for me, but that's a very personal preference. But I think with Titleist fairway woods, you can't go wrong.
I think the Epic Sub-Zero is a good 3-wood for you. I just think for the general consumer, that would be a very tricky club. Okay. I think that's a very, very low spin 3-wood. What was nice about the Titleist is they sit low profiled. Certainly the F3 was a little bit deeper, but smaller head.
Yeah,
it's got the weight you can switch around, which I didn't do a load of experiment with, but it gives you that stability to be able to change the ball flight slightly, and the profile of those fairway woods. And we're talking this is the profile of a fairway wood for Titleist has stayed the same for many a year.
Ever since it switched from the PT.
Correct.
It stayed exactly the same.
The first one maybe 907 or 905. So we're talking 10 years minimum. God. This head shape has been around for Titleist fairway woods, and it still look great. I like this year where they've gone a little bit more grayer on the top as well, and it's got like a slightly polished finish. I think I would have had that in the bag if I hadn't had some demons of a few top shots on a certain hole at Nelson Golf Club one time. But it is a very
been nice.
It is a very good wood. Performance is spot on as well. And I think for general public, it works very well for a lot of people.
Hang on, stay still. Got a mozzie on your head. Right, on to irons. Now, this is a...
What do you say about hybrids? They're boring.
Just get pings. Just get ping hybrids. You ain't going to go wrong with them. Irons.
I'd agree with that.
This is an area which is a bit funky because I'm not overly happy. That is the right way to put it. But generally, what we've seen in the last couple of years is manufacturers continually bring out irons, stronger lofts, weight further back, higher launching, lower spinning, so they can say that these irons are going longer and higher and all the rest of it. But out this year, at this moment in time, for most people, what we suggest having a look at, would you go iron, a particular iron family, which they like to call it, or is there one set of iron that really jumps out?
I've got one set of iron that's going to jump out. When does this video go live?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay. I'm gonna upload a review of potentially my new set of irons tomorrow.
Oh, I know. Right. Okay. Yeah.
I'll talk about that, but let me talk about the family first. I think the family of irons, and I absolutely, hand on heart, do not think you can go wrong with the Ping family of irons, the G series, moving into the I, moving into the I blade. I think as of there's 4 golf clubs: G Max, G. What do they call that new one now? I-20, no. Oh my goodness, what have they called it?
Is it I-200?
I-200. and Ping iBlades, which I currently use in my bag. The 4 of those golf clubs, all incredibly engineered, all with benefits from G-Max not being super strong lofted. They've still got enough loft for the higher handicapper who wants that forgiveness to get the ball up in the air. You then move into G, which I think G, my goodness, cater.
It suits such a wide range of golfers.
Honestly, because it looks fantastic.
From a performance, well, not a performance side, that helps higher handicappers generally perform better. I've seen a lot of people come in who are relatively low handicappers still use that club.
Yeah.
Because when it sits down behind the ball, it doesn't look like a big, massive, forgiving club. It actually looks like a bit more of a player's club, but offers the same forgiveness.
The G is honestly a phenomenal iron. I know it came out last year, but it's still current this year. You then move into the I200, which is a new golf club, which is effectively a middle ground between the G and the I Blade. What I really like about the I200, it's just a G that's been stripped. It's had a strict diet and been stripped back. But it just looks amazing. And you still get the performance from the G and just sacrifice a little bit of forgiveness, but we're talking very minimal. I think you'll see a lot of players moving in that go G long set or even G 3 and 4 iron, G max 3 and 4 iron, G from 5 to 7, and then moving into I200 as they go down into the wedges, or even I blades into the wedges. And then you have the I blade. I blade, I've been a big fan of the S range irons for Ping for a long time. I used to like them until the iBlade came out, and those clubs now just look old, they look out of date.
They look a bit, yeah, they do look a bit, old is probably the best way to describe it, actually.
A lot of clubs do, I get that, but the iBlade just, I can imagine in 5 years, it would still look phenomenal.
Yeah, the thing is, if you polished up, say, a Mizuno from 5 years ago, that would still look really, really good, like a blade, but the actual new Pings, from a better player standpoint, actually look great.
Yeah, they've got this kind of
look really good
finish, and honestly, they look amazing. They're a hard iron. That's the only thing I think. Ping tried to bring out forged iron, the Answer iron, which was ridiculously expensive.
Flopped, didn't it?
Big time, because Ping customers aren't used to paying ridiculous prices.
Well, they're not
like silly prices.
Ping clubs aren't cheap, but those Answer irons, they were over £1,000, weren't they, for the set? So it just wasn't going to work. And Ping don't need to, because Ping know what they do, and they do it well. You know, they're staying in their own lane in that respect. I think from a different perspective, I will say Cobra one length. I'm using the one length forged at this moment in time, and for me, it's actually a little bit of a breath of fresh air because it's something different. I mean, one length irons, yes, they've been out before,
many years ago,
and Cobra were forced really into producing one length clubs because they signed Bryson DeChambeau. If they hadn't signed him, they wouldn't have made him.
Well, whoever Bryson would have gone to next after Adele, they would have made single length. Surely
they would have had to. So they were forced into it. But I think it's worked really, really well, and it is something different because even with Pings, I mean, Pings are fantastic irons, but if you really go back 5-10 years,
there's not a lot of difference
in Ping irons. I mean, yes, the G looks a lot better, but let's say you go back to the G10, performance-wise, even though it looks a bit clunkier, it's going to have a bigger offset.
A performance, hardly anything at all. It's just the thing is though, I think as a whole package with irons, more than any other club in the bag, I believe, I'm a big believer in this. Maybe just about putters. Looks plays an enormous part of the confidence building when you set up to it. And when you sit down a beautiful looking golf club behind the ball, whether it's with offset, because that's beauty to you, beauty is within that eye of the beholder. And when the player sits that iron down and they go, this is beautiful. And everybody watching this video will look at an iron differently. But when they sit it down and they go, this is beautiful, I can bet my bottom dollar, is that the saying?
Yeah.
That they'll hit a nice shot because confidence builds on looks.
On fire with the sayings tonight.
So Pete saying one length, and I'm a big believer in that. I just never quite found the right ground for myself personally, but I think there is grounds in this one length idea. We've got a vlog coming out this week actually. First part went up on my channel yesterday, and then we moved on to Seb on Golfs, and then we're going on to Pete's, and then we're going on to James Pickard's or Steve Buzzer. We all use single length clubs. Mixed results, I would say. Quick one, the range of clubs I think you should look at is Wilson. Stay tuned to my channel to see which iron might go in my bag this year.
Loves Wilson. Loves.
I didn't think I would do, but I love them. Hey, yeah, me and Tom Hanks, we both love Wilson.
Okay, go on to wedges, and we'll do this. We'll do this quickly. Literally, your best wedges at the moment on 3. 1, 2, 3. Callaway. Wow, you didn't do it. Don't you just people like that? You say 1, 2, 3, say something, then they just don't say it.
2 reasons. One, I don't know personally what I'm after in a wedge at the moment, because I think I'm after a softer feel. I'm currently using SM6s, which aren't soft enough. I've moved into the Callaway Forged, which, yeah, it's okay. I just don't think it's quite suited to me. I'm really interested in... I've not done enough wedge testing. I'm going to put that out there. I've not done enough wedge testing this year. So I really fancy trying out the new milled grind from TaylorMade.
To be fair, I've had a bit of a go with those. They do feel great. They do feel fantastic.
Ping Eye.
Glide.
The Glide.
Yeah.
God, what's wrong with my names? Who are you?
Where am I?
I didn't know before. Ping Glide wedges. They're not soft. I've hit them, but I've not fully tested them. They're not a soft iron. So I don't know about wedges at the moment. Again, I think this is very personal. If you're after something that's soft, go soft and make sure it's forged. I like a soft wedge because I find that you get around the green a little bit more of a feel. I don't like that clicky, hard noise that you get off. And I'm getting that off the SM6s.
Yeah, with the Vokey, I love Vokey wedges, but I really don't like the SM6s. They do feel hard.
Yeah.
They really feel hard. And oddly enough, when you catch them off the toe, normally if you've got a soft wedge and you catch it off the toe, you can get that little grabby one. Just doesn't happen with the Titleist. They're just bound on. I'm not a massive fan of those. And other than that, you're not going to go wrong with Cleveland wedges. So.
Yeah, RTX3 are pretty good as well. I've hit those. So more wedge testing to go. I would put the Callaways definitely in the mix from a soft feel. Performance, I would still say Vokey is a top dollar in performance. I just think you sacrifice feel because of that.
Okay. And finally, on to putters.
Even roll. So even roll putters are unreal. They are super. So I've had ER1 and ER6 now. ER1 is the bladed version, and I've moved into the big... How would you describe it? Box.
It's a black box.
Now the thing at the moment, this is what's interesting. I've not been showing how amazing these putters are just yet because I've not been putting particularly great, but I know there's performance in there. Technology a lot of putters are doing this year, more than any other year that I've certainly known as, is this variable groove thickness and thinning of the face as they go across, or certain types of milling of the face. So what Even Roll have got, in the middle of the face, the grooves are wider apart. And as you start to move away from the centre, the grooves go tighter and closer together. And the idea of that is if you miss centre, these grooves that are just to the side, they're going to help get more interaction with the golf ball to get that ball travelling still the same distance as it would do if it hit on the middle of the face when the grooves are wider, because then there's not as much putter and ball interaction, so you don't get those hot puts, which I hate those hot puts. So at the moment I think the technology is great, the shapes are brilliant, and the lining up are really good.
Okay.
So Even Roll, #1 putter ever, until I change to a different one. But I really like Even Roll. I think they're hard to test because not a lot of people are stocking them. But they are hard to test.
Yeah, they are really good. I think probably the one that's stood out to me a little bit, I'm in a slightly different situation. I had a putter fit in, it was late last year, and I came out with the Callaway, the Odyssey toe-up putter, which have now been discontinued. No one bought them. No one bought them.
My review is pretty harsh.
At all. No one bought them.
My review is really harsh.
And I've got to be honest, I don't like the look of it, but when I was doing my putter fitting, the numbers that it was producing were absolutely amazing. They were, not going to say perfect, but they were...
I think you put well with that.
They were pretty much perfect. So it's not... I'm not in love with my putter at this moment in time, but it performs and I can trust it, which helps. I think the one that I've really liked, without testing in Orlando, is the Adele putter, which is a similar theory, if you want, to the toe-up putters, but done really well. I mean, they feel really good. They look really good. I've not had a chance to have a proper numbers-based fitting with it though, so I'm not quite sure where I'm at with that yet. But I think those stood out more than anything else that I've tried so far. The new Odyssey ones, the O-Works look good, but the marketing annoyed me too much.
I think they look great, and certainly with the vice versa on the back of the putters, they're super easy to line up. There's a link up in the corner for the Odyssey O-Works putter review.
You know what, guys? I'm going to include a link to Rick's channel. Okay, now what you can do is if you want to look at some of these reviews, you just go over there. You enjoy yourself, all right? You spend some time there. You get a cup of tea, you get some biscuits, and you just delve in there.
Guys, just if you know, if you come to my channel, it's a no dirty shoes policy. So please take off your dirty shoes before you actually come into my channel. I appreciate.
Don't take them off at the door. Wipe them everywhere. Wipe them on the walls.
There's a doorman, and he'll not let you in.
It's fine. You slip him a fiver. You can buy him off very cheap.
That is true. So yeah, I think the vice versa section of it is brilliant. And just the micro hinge, just yucky marketing, terrible, horribleness.
It annoyed me.
But I don't think it's bad.
Oh no, it's good.
I just don't like the fact that they said they would revolutionise putting. That was the phrase, revolutionise putting.
There's nothing wrong with the technology. There's absolutely nothing. I mean, it's an Odyssey putter. Odyssey make fantastic putters. I'm using one, but that annoyed me. But I think that's a pretty conclusive list, apart from hybrids.
Golf balls. Wow, you got so many.
So many. I think we'll do proper reviews coming soon, because I think that's a whole other subject.
That's another 22-minute video.
Oh, so we kept it within 12 minutes then. Thumbs up, guys. Right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow us on our other social media platforms as well.
Oh, that lighting's much better. Can we start again?
No, I like it being quite close and harsh. And where was I? I don't know. Follow us, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to Rick as well. I'm sure you already do. And if not, then just terrible person, really.
I'm sorry. I've obviously upset you.
Which happens a lot more than you might think.
Happens too much, actually.
Yeah, a little bit too much. We
should learn from that.
You never learn. That's your problem.
Side note, always test clubs before you buy them. Don't just buy them on a 22-minute video that we did on YouTube, sat here on the veranda in Portugal.
Just buy them. Just go for it.
And before the comments come in, and I know the comments are going to come in, no, we've not been drinking. Because I know you think that's all, just because we get together and we're happy, suddenly we've been drinking. But we've not been drinking tonight.
No.
Yeah, 2
oranges with vodka, of course.